Buongiorno everyone, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV. It is finally February.
It is.
What a long draining month that was. It is over. Newcastle have brought through 5 players. Welcome Rob, nice to see you mate. Ruben staying on the channel.
Again, yeah.
As always.
Thanks
Regular,
for
a bit of a regular now. Coming in. His title will be in the description and in the title itself at Ruben Sain, so make sure you check him out if you haven't already. We are here to discuss and go through Newcastle United's January transfer window. All 5 players will be rated. So let's waste no time and get into Kieran Trippier, who was of course Newcastle United's first signing of the window. £12 million from Atletico Madrid, the right back, the one we've seen the most of since him signing, obviously since we brought him in the first week. Feels like a lifetime ago that.
It does feel like ages ago. No, the Trippier one I think helped us in 2 ways. I think first of all instantly improves our first 11. He also, we've seen him already, so it's slightly easier to score him than some of the other ones, but
definitely,
clearly creating an impact on the pitch, try to talk to players what he's doing as well. But also, you don't forget that he was the first one in the door, and I do think that helped us bring in more players as well.
Set a precedent.
Getting him done early, being like, you know what, we have got La Liga winning, Champions League playing Trippier in here. Does anyone else fancy it? So
Bruno, please come Bruno, look at what we're going to do.
So I definitely think that helps his rating as well.
I think it was close because I remember when obviously we were so close to getting Diego Carlos. Don't want to bring him up again, like, but obviously he knew Trippier very well from the Liga days, and he was thinking, wow, Trippier's meant, and that is a serious bit of business. That is a serious player. I mean, was in La Liga's team of the season last year, England international, played in the Euros final. We all know how good Kieran Trippier is from Premier League experience as well. So if I'm rating that signing, I'm giving that a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, mate. 10 out of 10. Because this is, as Alan Shearer said it, not me, right? Captain material.
Yeah, well,
we've seen the leadership on the pitch already, the communication and organisation he's bringing to that.
I do agree.
Team that was a mess, is a mess. Still.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give him a solid 9.
9?
Solid 9.
Hard to please is. Maybe I'm just still a bit pissed off the train journey.
Possibly.
Tired, actually tired. Next signing was Chris Wood. Now, on a different scale to Trippier. Everything we've just mentioned about Trippier, Wood doesn't really fit any of those bills. Apart from international, New Zealand.
True.
£25 million though, more than double what we paid for Trippier. Was obviously due to the release clause in the Burnley forwards contract. Now this one threw everyone by surprise. It's very much a rushed deal where things sort of happen quickly out of the blue, unlike every other transfer we made and every other Lincoln rumour that happened in January. But Chris Wood, for you, what's your thoughts? We've seen him play twice now.
I think Chris Wood's a tough one as well, because again, I do think I've possibly ranked Trippier even higher, because the fact we paid 12 million for him, it's an absolute steal. Then you're looking at Chris Wood, 25 million, but it's not his fault. And the fact was the release clause was there. We needed a striker, and we could have paid anything for him, you know. So I still think he's a decent player. We needed a striker. He still is currently our only available striker. Well, again, we don't know where Gale is. So it was someone we needed. It may not have been everyone's first choice. I think we may have paid slightly over the odds for it, but still, we needed a striker. We've brought one in, and that's an advantage of where we would have been had we not gone. And
an advantage over Burnley remains to be seen. Obviously, we weakened a relegation rival by taking their talisman off them. But they've obviously spent some money on Veghorst, so we'll see how that works out. I think that's a very good sign, to be honest.
I do agree, yeah.
But Chris Wood, for me, we haven't seen too much of him yet. He didn't do great on his debut, I must say. Against Leeds, he had the most aerial duels won ever in a Premier League game. Something daft like that, 15 and 90 minutes. So we know what you're going to get from him. Hold up the ball, link up the play, hopefully bring in the likes of St. Maximin. Get on the end of crosses from Trippier and Target, who we'll come on to in a minute. But Wood, for me, I'm going to give it a 6.
I was going to go 7. Again, I do think that it's the same situation with someone like Callum Wilson. You know, if he only has 2 touches of the ball, we don't necessarily blame Callum Wilson, we blame the support. So I think it's a very similar thing with Chris Wood. Chris Wood could well excel with players like Trippier getting up that way and getting the ball in, but if we don't start creating stuff, then he's going to have a similar trouble that we've already got. So I'll give him a 7. I hope he can get a few goals.
I like that, though. A good point about Wilson as well, because if Wood doesn't touch the ball or is hopeless for 90 minutes, but then gets on the end of a corner in the 90th minute, we'll win the game 1-0. Great game, man the match. So hopefully he can do some of that. The next one, the big one, was Bruno Guimaraes. 24-year-old Brazilian international for £30 odd million. One of the best midfielders in Europe, signed from Lyon. what a signing that is. I mean, we can't wait to see him play, can't we?
You know, it's I can't get my words out. I'm not excited.
Oh, what are you doing with Bruno?
No, I'm absolutely buzzing. Again, we spoke about obviously the Trippier one being like a huge signing. I think the Chris Wood one went through quite quickly, and then the Gomeres one was kind of being spoken about, but at the same time, no one really knew whether it was actually going to happen. And then, as I say, when we were out in town, and it got when it got unofficially announced that he was coming in, I think it just literally just sent everyone wild, didn't it? I mean, it's extremely happy. Big price tag, but I think for a player of his ability, who could have probably got a first team game in most Premier League sides, Champions League, Europa League, he's come to relegation Newcastle.
It's a huge signing, a real coup. That was our marquee signing, clearly. Absolutely buzzing to see him play and make his debut against Everton next week, hopefully. But Bruno, if we go on his stats and how high he's regarded and his reputation and his age, he's still going to come into his prime. That's a 10 out of 10 for me. Like,
you're going. Yeah, well, I mean, if I give Trippier a 9, I think I might have to go 9.5. 9.5. Again, you know what? We've not seen him yet, and obviously, I think he's come. We've seen what he can do. I'm hoping he can quickly transition that into the Premier League and kick on straight away. I think. Again, you know, looking around the pitch, not just at him, but other players who he can hopefully help, who can benefit. You know, someone like Willock, who's having to do a lot of the work he doesn't normally like to do. I'm hoping just bringing him in might even excel the other players around him as well, which will be great.
Yeah, let's hope so. Make sure you're dropping your comments in as well with these ratings alongside ours. Obviously, Deadline Day yesterday, double swoop.
Yeah.
We'll start with Matt Targett, since he was released first during the day. Matt Targett, left back on loan from Aston Villa for the rest of the season. Was actually Aston Villa's Player of the Year last year.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, and
wow.
I remember him doing really well with Jack Grealish, linking up that side with Grealish a couple of seasons ago. Came from Southampton, you know, from down that way. Good player, still at a decent age.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
It's funny because, and I know we've spoken about this one before. I think left back was never really my priority position, and again, centre back was. I know we'll talk more about centre backs in a minute, but you know, even at that point when we brought in a left back, we still hadn't brought a centre back in. So I was like, this is a good one, but you know, I'm kind of waiting for the. You know, we have been since day one trying to get a centre back in.
Got to think we're looking at Lucas Dean, didn't we? Lucas Dean turned we're down.
That's true.
Which has obviously made Target available to us because he took his place. So
that's right, yeah. So yeah, in that sense, it kind of helped us at least get one through the door. But no, the thing is, I think with left backs, we've got Dummett, but he's injury prone. Jamal Lewis, but he has been injured. Richie can't play there. Manquillo can, but he's right-footed, so we have got options.
Yeah.
But for me, I think Target is straight away the preferred choice out of all of them. And you know, when you want to try and fight relegation and stay up, bringing in a player on a loan as well, so we're not paying anything, who's going to instantly improve that position is a win-win for me straight away.
That's true. Like you say, a loan, it's a no risk in it. If he does well, he presses how right. He has a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, right back to Villa. See you later. Thanks anyways.
Exactly.
And he's got many Premier League games under his belt. I think he's a steady option. It's not something that's going to maybe get you super excited, but it's a steady option. It's probably a good option. I mean, I was a bit underwhelmed when I first heard of Matt Targett's link, to be honest with you. If he kind of get in the Villa side, you know, I know Villa are doing better than us at the minute, but I don't know. Overall, for the points we've just raised, I think it's a good signing. It's a good signing. I'm going to give it I'll give that one a 6.
Oh yeah, I was going to go higher. I was going to go 8.
Well, you go 8, mate?
Yeah, I just think the fact that he's on a loan and it doesn't cost us anything. If he's rubbish in 3 weeks' time, we can in theory tell him to go if we wanted to.
Jamal Lewis, can you come back to the team, please?
Yeah,
we love you, Lewis. We never meant it. Going back to X, aren't they? Try and get Lewis back in the team in a couple of weeks' time.
I know.
Well, there you go. Let us know your thoughts. Lastly, and not leastly, Dan Bain, centre-back Bain from Blythe, signed from Brighton, £30 million, right at the last minute. Teased, we waited all day.
They did.
Weeks on end. His longest medical history, that I think, for Dan Bain, for Newcastle. Longest defender in history as well, 6'7", absolute unit. Again, we mentioned it on your channel last week when we did a video when Dan Bain was linked.
Yeah.
From Diego to Dan, you're losing the luxury factor. You're losing when you've been linked with £30-40 million bids to Sven Botman and Diego Carlos, and you end up with Dan Bain. Again, that can potentially be seen as underwhelming, but I think it's a smart sign. I think it's a very Premier League very proven Premier League player, bundles of experience, did things the hard way, had a tough career getting to where he is. He's having the season of his life in centre back partnership with Webster. He can play left back as well, so he's versatile. and he'll give his all for the club because he's a local lad.
He will. I do think it's always nice to have a local lad come back and play for his club, which is great. Even Shearer's tweeting him saying welcome back and stuff like that. As I say, I really don't have too many negatives for the window, but if I had to give one, I think it was just, again, centre back was #1 priority and was signed one with 30 seconds of the window left, which again there's loads of ifs and buts along the whole way, but I do agree. I think the fact that we've got Burn in is a good one. Again, he's playing some good football. You'll likely see out the end of his career here as well, which I'm sure he'll be buzzing for.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Gamirez, again, you've got a little bit of an exotic player there that gets everyone excited. But really, what we want to do, we want to finish 17th, you know, and being able to bring in straight away back four, Target, Burn, Trippier.
Yeah,
we've brought in 3 players who are instantly improving that defence, and if what we want to do is stay up this season, those are 3 very smart signings. Not flash, but smart, and I think Dan Burn is definitely one of those.
Well said, because check out the DR Sports YouTube channel, the transfer deadline day show I did last night, and Robbie made a very good point, a similar point to that this is stage 1 in Newcastle's transfer history now.
Yeah.
So it's a stage 1. Stage 1 is smart, astute signings of staying up, get the job done, make sure you stay in the league. Then we'll see the real flashy money bags Newcastle come out in the summer. Do you know what I mean? Beyond that, because you start from scratch in the summer. Where do you want to finish? Top 4, right? Well, there's 200 million.
Yeah.
Right? We'll attract him now. Now Botman will come. Now Carlos will come. Now maybe Nunez from Benfica will come. Do you know what I mean? These top players, you can attract them. There's no risk. It's always easier to sign players in the summer. So in terms of this January, and like you said, players are going to come in, improve it from the off. Positions that were weak. It has been a very good window, to be fair. Newcastle, the biggest spenders in Europe this January, 93 million. Who would have thought that? Years gone by, would never spend £9, never mind 90 million. So it is good, very good. The owners have tried, they've been pushing hard all month. There's a bit of negativity or a bit of looming worries, I would say, on social media last night because we didn't manage to get that attack room. We fell short with Jesse Lingard, we fell short with Hugo Ekitike and others. That was the only missing piece, wasn't it? Really, if we had got Lingard, then wow, what a window that would have been.
Well, I was going to say we'll have to rate Dan Burn first, but when I rate the overall window, though, like honestly, that's kind of where I am for the overall transfer window for us. I'm thinking like solid 8.5. But if we'd got that Lingard or we'd got that Ekitike, I think that's when it goes 9.5.
Yeah.
Like I think that was just the final little piece that we could have done within that puzzle.
Because the worry is, if Wood gets injured or Wilson's come back, he's not firing, then we're still lacking that bit of power on. We're up top.
We are.
Quickly go back then. I'll give Burn a what will I give Burn? 7? Maybe an 8. Pushing an 8 or being.
Yeah, I was going to push 8 as well. Again, I think
we'll go with 8.
I would have liked 2 centre backs if I'm being completely honest.
4.
No, but the fact was we needed one. We did get one, which I think helps the rating as well. We've got that centre back that we wanted. And again, he's playing good football. He captained Brighton for the first time just in December, so that's what they thought of him down there. So hopefully he's going to replicate that up for us as well.
So that'll do for this video. Once we've gave our official rating overall, Rob.
Yes.
Overall, I'm gonna give it. Pretty sure I'd have thought about this a bit harder. I'm gonna give it a. Do I give it an 8?
What?
I mean, after I put 2 10s in there.
Yeah.
2 10 signings and then a couple of 7 8s. So 7 or an 8. Bollocks. 8 out of 10. It would have been, like you said before, a 10 if we had got an attacker in and maybe a Carlos in as well at centre back.
Agreed. No, I'm with you, man. 8.5. I think if we'd seen that deadline day again, you know what it is. We struggle with letting goals in, but we've also struggled scoring goals. And as much as Trippier, I can't even remember them all now. Trippier, Burn, Target, and Gamirez, because again he's like a defensive midfielder, really. So 4 of the 5 are defensive players. So hopefully that will shore up our defence. Lobbing Chris Wood up front on his own isn't going to create a lot, so that's the worry. But yeah, very solid 8.5. Brilliant.
Let us know your comments below for each and every single player's rating there for who we've seen this transfer window, and your overall rating of the January transfer window for Newcastle United, the first one of the new ownership. Subscribe to Rubenstein.
Thank you.
Subscribe to my channel TV and enjoy yourselves.